effective by up to 40% also through the use of AI and machine teaching. So what that means in turn is that all the startups have the opportunity to go through an onboarding process, answering all the questions that an investor would ask in the very first moment. And while uploading all the data to the platform, the startup thereby gets a direct feedback on how they're dealing in terms of the investability in each of the areas of a business. So through that, he automatically gets that feedback in a visualized form, knows where to improve from the perspective of an investor, and then thereby increases investability. He'll be provided a full-blown data room, like an own structured data room where he knows what type of content an investor is looking for, with which, well, not just the format of the document, but also the content, in order really to get yourself ready for investability. Because what we've seen, especially on our platform, and I also heard like that you guys, which is great, are helping other startups and mentoring them. And this is really what is needed, because still 90% of all the startups approaching us say, hey, we are investor ready. They are by far not, because they're not aware of what it takes to really go in front of an investor. And as you know, oftentimes you only have one chance to really convince an investor. And that's why we really try to educate them from the very first moment on directly build that business with the focus of getting funding one day and really take a stepwise process towards that. And maybe just as a kind of like idea of what this means for startups, and at the same time, on that investability platform, we'll be able to cover the whole full value chain, really from investor matchmaking through the due diligence to really closing that deal, because also investors will be able to say, hey, I'm investing 25K to 50K in the geography of India, for example, in AR, VR, and they automatically get matched with all the investable startups out there. So really, it's about not leaving any investable startup behind out there. Yeah, I hope that gave a bit of a background also for what Vishal is now trying to achieve with Kolkata, because Kolkata has its own individual challenges, and there's nobody better that could know it than somebody that is right there, like Vishal. So with Vishal, we really hope that we can bring benefits and value to the ecosystem in Kolkata as well. Yeah, in that regard, thanks everybody for listening in to that short.
Definitely, Marcus, you have a great profile, and I think so collaborating with Vishal and learning while traveling. So you will be doing a lot of things, and definitely Calcutta is an emerging ecosystem, specifically in terms of startup ecosystem. So yeah, definitely, it's a good thing that you have collaborated with the right guy at the right time, and then yeah, we can definitely see the positive results soon happening.
That's perfect. Yeah, and I also heard you guys were talking about Bangalore and Delhi and all that. Yeah. So especially, even though we're a startup from Germany, our strongest market is actually in India. We have city leaders in Bangalore, we have city leaders in Delhi, in Noida, in Ahmedabad, and all across India. So it's because also of your guys' culture. I mean, look at you. It's 10:30 at night, and you're sitting all at home in that startup night out, which is great. But this is quite unique, I can tell you. Like, I mean, we've been online for 4 months, but there's not been any other country out there in the world as engaging as the Indian, and that's really something impressive to see. So I'm happy to have Vishal and everybody else who would like to join on board and really help you guys become investable, or if you're a supporter of startups, really get onboarded there and be able to have an impact.
Definitely, Marcus. Prakash sir and I are always there.
Prakash sir, you have a question, please. Anyone has a question, you can raise your hand and we can give you turn. Yeah, Prakash, you can, sir, you can unmute actually. Yeah.
Prakash sir,
yeah, everyone can unmute themselves, but just unmute one by one. Don't unmute all at the same time. Yeah, please.
Marcus, apologies to me that myself, Akarshan, Abhishek, and Narendra, we got engrossed in the topic that we were talking in the break.
No worries.
Didn't actually allowed you to speak anything. Apologies to that. Just now, I have connected myself on LinkedIn with your due dash, and I send you a personal request on LinkedIn. Please accept it, and we will get in touch with each other and try and see where we can add value to each other's work. Thank you, Vishal, for this the whole setup that you have created. Thanks a lot. It's been a great help.
Yeah, Atul sir, please, you can unmute yourself.
So hi Marcus, my name is Atul Kumar and I'm in the headquarters, Silicon Valley, headquarters of startups, obviously. I also joined Dudas a few weeks back, but there's some videos I had to update and I could not upload my video. So I look forward to. So what exactly, Marcus, you think the collaboration, Dudas as a German incubator or the ecosystem builder and the global ecosystem. So where do you see, and there's too many incubators and accelerators across the world. So what exactly, where do you see Dudas is placed in the market space?
First of all, thanks, Atul. I remember actually you joining at some point in time back again. So this is a question that's often asked, and there's a clear answer to that. So out there in the world, there's many startup communities like Startup Grind, Startup Weekend, and all that. Many of them, however, are focused on the very first part, like trying to get people excited, really starting out their business, having some specific focuses. But our community is specifically designed on the fundraising process. So whereas the community, yes, also helps from the ideation up to funding in terms of an academy with all the content that is needed, we're specifically focused on helping startups become investable and helping them throughout the fundraising process. So we don't see us ourselves as an accelerator or incubator ourselves. However, we are an enabler of accelerators and incubators across the world to run their program within seconds virtually, because we have this academy and group function implemented in the platform. And just to give you an example, there's been a US venture fund, Quake Capital, that actually cooperated with Deutsche Telekom and RTL Media Group to run a full-blown 5G accelerator program through our website, through which 7 of the startups actually got invested. There's all curated Series A startups by now. And this is just one of the use cases of our platform to enable also academic programs that have so far really been very narrow in their approach to really give them a full LMS structure to really run their programs, have an alumni function, have the e-cell also onboarded. So there's different types of players that we can help by incorporating them, giving them the opportunity to have like a close community while being one click away from a global community, global resources in the network that you can access at any time. Because the community platform itself, 90% of what we deliver here, it's really just giving back to the ecosystem. It's providing value to them. And just 10% like high quality content, the acquisition of academies and groups, this is paid. But our goal is really to first have an impact, a positive aspect here. And our whole approach here is built on co-creation, right? So we are really thinking that instead of capturing value, which too many players, even in our city, Cologne, do, because they are trying to just try to extract the greatest value for their organization, it's really about creating value together with other players so that in the end, every player can take out a bigger portion out of the whole pie. And this is how we see this community to work.
So one follow-up question, Marcus. Sure. Do you have a partnership? I know you are based in Europe, but partnership with US-based universities too, like Stanford or Berkeley or New York University or all those. So do you have any partnership yet, or not in the pipeline yet?
So, so far we've been able to worldwide secure roughly 20 partnerships in different areas. So we have venture funds from the US, from UAE, from Singapore. University-wise, we're just strongly in touch with Indian universities and getting in touch with some German universities. So we have IIT Bombay, Guwahati, and all those onboarded. We're missing US universities so far, even though our co-founders are from Berkeley, are from MIT. So we do have that background, but the US market, unfortunately, is not as strong as we would like it to be right now, but we're proactively looking also for city leaders in all those regions to really help also reach that market a lot better. And besides that, what we're currently building up is we have secured partnerships with HubSpots for startups, for entrepreneurs, with Freshworks for startups. We're currently closing on AWS as well. So we will also provide a huge amount of benefits and credits to startups if they are on the way really to become investable and ready for that.
Sure. I'm sorry, one last question is that
Sure.
You talked about IITs. I am from IIM, not from an IIT. Vishal is from IIT. So do you have any collaboration in space with IIMs? I am a co-founder of an organization, IIM Society, to connect all the 20 IIMs across the world. So do you have any collaboration with any of the IIMs yet? Indian Institute of Management.
Yeah, I'm
IIM is another institute in India. It's a chain, just like IIT.
Just like we have
management.
IIT is for technology, M is for management.
Right.
So IIMs are supposed to be the Harvard or supposed to be the best management college in the world.
INSEAD.
Toughest at least to get
it's like INSEAD.
Yeah.
INSEAD
No,
of France.
as far as I know there's some talks going on with different universities right now, but I'm actually not sure whether IIM is one of them. So if, in case, obviously, there is any approach from your end, any potential reach out to those partners, we're more than happy to directly take it, not just with an individual one, but maybe to say, hey, we have like the whole community come together across universities, because that's actually something that we appreciate, that not all the universities take their own approach and build their own communities, because leveraging like a community with more people, with more resources, a greater network is always more valuable, because that's how we can create value for them as well. So if there's something
sure,
like
Marcus,
that,
we'll take it offline.
Exactly.
We'll take it out through you.
They are looking for city leaders across places. So anyone would like to become a city leader, feel free to connect with me. Or Akarshan, you have a question? Please.
Yeah. So I would really, Vishal, as you were saying that, like maybe Marcus, you already got some city leader from Delhi. I'm not sure. If not, then I would like to rope in as the Delhi city leader. If you have got one, then it's fine. Like I can be some kind of the other, we can engage. That would be fine. So yeah, as you said.
Yeah, Akarshan, we can just reach out to me on LinkedIn. Let's take this discussion also separately, because there's definitely, I mean, Delhi is a very huge city. As of now, we do have also a city leader there, but let's take this in a one-on-one, because I think there's definitely a way.
Definitely. That's.
I'd be happy to take this conversation forward.
Sure. Perfect. Same here.
Great.
Yeah, there
and for everybody else, feel
more
free
than
to just
one city leaders if the city is big. So
sure.
Yeah,
perfect.
Just
perfect.
for one line answer.
Thank you.
And that accounts for everybody
had
else.
a question.
Obviously.
Yeah, Neeraj had a question. Neeraj, please.
Yeah, hi Marcus, hi everyone.
Hey there.
I'm Neeraj Sharma, based out of Gurgaon. Gurgaon is a satellite town to Delhi, and it's one of the startup hub in northern India. So I am working with the corporate, but yeah, definitely interested in all these topics which you are discussing. Atul has already asked the question, which I was thinking about, like incubators and everything. So thank you for your answer, and definitely looking forward to have more collaboration with you. Thank you.
No problem. Whatever question comes to any of your guys' mind, just contact me. I'm happy to help you forward. And whatever we can do for the Indian ecosystem, because I see major leads, people from there, just reach out to me if you have any partners or that you feel could bring value to the overall community, to the startups in specific. I'm happy to discuss this calmly as well.
Sure.
Just Gaurav has you have one more. Okay, Gaurav, then Akarshan can ask. Gaurav, please.
Gaurav, go ahead.
Hey Marcus, Gaurav Agarwal here. So my question, my question is with respect to the building of the right core team. So I am currently in that process wherein I am building a community by the name of Co-Founders Planet, wherein I am sort of helping the startups find the right kind of co-founders, mostly on equity. So what I wanted to understand is what kind of support DoDash gives to the startups with respect to building the core team.
Yes. So obviously so one thing is the knowledge base that we provide. So we provide also quite some information on that, how to build your team right from the beginning, thinking about all the vesting, the agreements, because we've seen way too many founders starting a business saying we'll take care of all that later, and then at the point that they want to take care of it, it destroys teams that are just building up. So that's one thing, like the educational part. The second thing is, on our platform, we have the option not just in the local areas, like within the cities, but also on the global scale. We have those topic areas of barter and hiring. where you are free to post a job listing for free. You can look for co-founders, for apprentices, for employees, for contractors. All that is free of charge. So you can just publish your job listing, specifically look for people. And on top of that, we have this expertise area where you can see like people on the platform, they put in their expertise. So you could even specifically reach out to the type of people that you're interested in. And for example, if you're looking for a designer, many designers, even if they're occupied, they know many other designers, right? So this is one way that we help, at least with that respect, also build the right team. But it is part of our platform, but not one of our major focal points. But still, you're more than welcome to do any job listing there as well.
Akarshan, you have a question, please.
Yeah, not much. So Marcus, just one quick question. You know, you are like building. So I just want to know the mindset and basically the vision and mission of DoDash. That okay, you are building a community, or you are having the city leaders in India and Germany. You are obviously building the ecosystem. You will be helping them with the startups, with the venture, like maybe funding, maybe mentorship support, maybe whatever XYZ thing is needed for the startup to grow, right? But where do you think that India and Germany as a startup ecosystem, right, is differentiate? Like I'm not just talking about whole as a is India bigger or maybe Germany bigger? Not on those lines. But in Germany we have seen the technology is too advanced, right? Whereas in India probably the lack of technology is still there, though. The artificial intelligence, machine learning, AR, VR, it's like, and engineers, obviously we know because of the population, India has a lot of engineers, but still somehow I feel that the German startups in terms of technology are a bit better than as compared to India. So how you guys, how the DoDash community can help the technology startups to grow? Like any, idea, like maybe you have thought about it, maybe the vision and mission you have thought about the same, something on those lines?
Yeah. Okay, it's a very good question that you're asking here, and it's funny because two of our co-founders are originally from India.
Oh wow!
They used to they're from Delhi as well. They used to also go to IIT over there, and then they moved to the US and then came to Germany. So we are 50% German and 50% Indian founding team.
No,
so
that's what I'm saying. I'm not comparing in terms of the ecosystem, which ecosystem is better, but in terms of technology, I'm comparing.
Right. I totally get that. So actually, to be honest, we are right now building two products and we both outsource them to India. I mean, obviously the cost factor is one thing because the development, all that is still a lot more cheaper. When it comes down, I mean, to other technologies. So in thinking about how to help tech startups grow, one of the greatest ways to help them really is by giving them an early opportunity, not just to be visible to the Indian ecosystem, but also become visible and engage with investors and network players across the world. So that you directly have access to that global market. Because, for example, I can give you a great example. We have a city leader sitting in Israel, Shani Levy Mendel. She is also helping startups to get investments across the world. So she's sitting in Israel, but her market specifically is in India. So now that way she has an access by kind of sourcing through the individual city leader groups, like the Founders Bearing Rings, where people can upload their pitches, they can upload their pitch decks. So she can proactively have the visibility of startup that she would never have gotten before. So this is definitely one of the major aspects here. But also it's not just about India and Germany, right? Like our city leadership is already like Israel, Lagos, Cape Town. There's different places across the world. So it's really about connecting the dots. And just from yesterday's masterclass, so we're currently running the 4th city leader masterclass. And there was a city leader asking, hey, so now I know the mission of DoDash. So what shall I do in my sparring ring? And then we just compared the 4 people that were in there. And even within India, the challenges were so different because he's from Mumbai. He says finance sector is there. All the other sectors go to Bengaluru, they go to Delhi, the e-commerce places and all that. So his problem was they have high operating costs. the office spaces are quite expensive, and they have to take care of like keeping other startups. So his approach is a totally different one than somebody from Bengaluru, because his focus will be on partnering with co-working space like WeWork, trying to lower the operating costs, trying to get earlier to the investment, the accessibility and availability of business angels, for example. And so you don't even have to look over to Germany. You just have to look across the cities within India, and you will see that they have individual blind spots that they need to overcome. And DoDash is here to kind of support from a global level and really help each of the individual challenges through our support to overcome those challenges through the help of others within the connected ecosystem itself, but also through its connection to other ecosystems.
Definitely. I loved your answer. Thank you so much for the answer. And I was, something looking for the same, and I really appreciate it's something on the same side. But yeah, maybe I'll take it offline. I have some, some thoughts about the technology transfer between India and Germany. So the tech transfer, you would have heard about it. So yeah, definitely. But we can take it forward. No worries.
I'm happy to do that.
I mean, DoDash is a partner, and I'm also DoDash city leader. So we do this.
Sir, you are my guru.
No, we are going to do this every Friday also.
Yes, definitely.
Apart from anything you want to discuss, we can continue. Atul sir, you have a question, please.
So Marcus, the question from you was, I mean, Sunny was one of the speakers we use in Young Entrepreneurs Network, another entrepreneurship community which we have formed, and she was really awesome. So I just want to thank, let you know. And the other question I had was that there is too many startup enablers, more enablers than the startups themselves. So there would be a billion, maybe a million entrepreneurs, million startups, but the problem has become that too many plethora of startup enablers. Like I'm also one of them. Like Vishal has a few, and many others in the group also might be part of many other. Like Tai, one which I'm very closely associated with, the Indus entrepreneurs. So in this market of just like in a startup ecosystem, there's only a space for a few. The top 1, 2, 3 to succeed. They become the Google and the Facebook, Microsoft, but not every enabler does. So how do you see the startup enabler ecosystem shaping up from a perspective, especially from the European perspective? What's your view on that?
Very interesting question, to be honest, and I'll try to give it an answer. So if I look at our city, for example, Cologne, it's true, there is like several co-working spaces. There are also doing some acceleration work. However, what we realized is that even in our city, that the players in the end are too much focusing on their own benefit. And this actually, like the city of Cologne has so much potential, but all of them are kind of pulling their own strings. And this is why it's still barely happening that startups from Cologne really get that reach, getting out of there, because they are partially counteracting each other because they're just trying to capture them for their own network. So our idea really is that you're absolutely right. There's thousands of accelerator and incubator programs out there, but our really mission is to bring them back together on one table within one city by giving them, really aligning them along the purpose that they were designed for, because all of them started to help startups become investable or to help startups on their journey. However, many of them lost sight of what their actual goal was, and they continued working on that. So our idea is, yes, we're an enabler and we provide much of that for free, but we just allow the ecosystem to come closer together. And through our community platform, which, for example, if you look at startup grinds, if you look at startup weekends, they're organizing themselves still through Facebook groups. Have you ever been in a Facebook group like in such thing? Like you're just one click away from a cat video and you're somewhere else. Or also finding all the content that was posted is so hard. By having this community platform in the way we structure it, like having the knowledge library and all that, we really try to bring back structure and really be able to bring all of those in one place, because you don't have to go to 10 different pages to get the knowledge. As a solo founder, for example, I never knew. I had so many black boxes back then, and I had to go to so many different places, and I didn't have an idea anymore where to go at some point. And I was looking for something like DoDash, where I have like one kind of spot to go to where I can find help for design, where I can find for marketing, where I can talk to legal people. We will also release another product at the end of the upcoming month that will also enable all the service providers from within a city to also be closer attached and be able to monetize and be more visible, not just to the people within their city, but also across the globe. But I'm happy to keep you updated on that once we get closer to the launch and provide you with some more information on that. Because there are several products along the journey that will be launched to really focus on that stepwise project process towards investability of startups.
So thanks, Marcus. So literally you are becoming, in a way, the Google of startup ecosystem. It's easy to search, just
Facebook,
a few clicks.
Facebook of startups.
Facebook of startups, sort of. So.
I mean, that would be a pleasure. Let's see, it's a long journey ahead of us, but we're positive with the development because as of now, we're already across more than 80 countries in the world with almost 2,000 members. We're 4 months on the market. We haven't spent a dime on marketing yet, all just through content marketing, really, and through our community. So the moment we really be able to invest more in that, I'm very positive that the impact becomes greater and greater.
Sure. So how does LinkedIn and Telegram and all these groups play in your strategy? Because LinkedIn being the largest professional network, they are also, I'm not sure how popular it is in Germany, but globally is the largest.
It is.
So
Yeah.
how does those platforms play into your strategy? Those groups, platforms like LinkedIn or even Telegram, where there are millions of groups of startups. So how do they play into your strategy?
I mean, generally speaking, I mean, LinkedIn is not just for startups, but for all types of businesses, right? So you even find the personal trainer sometimes there that is looking to make some business with some people around the city. So LinkedIn is definitely, I mean, it's a great platform. I use it myself. It's great for lead generation as well. But when it comes down back to really engage on specific topics and have all the content in one structured place, not just locally, but also globally, it's lacking. Because even on LinkedIn, if you really would like to search for something, you can do it via a hashtag or something, but keeping track on content that has been posted that you've been engaging with is still quite hard. And we bring a lot more structure back into that process. And really, we're just focused on the startup ecosystem. There is no blatant advertising happening. So we don't allow our users to sell all their products at all times because that wouldn't bring value to the community. So we are really just focused. We have clear guidelines on what we want people to share. And it's about sharing your expertise. It's about our philosophies, give, and then ask. It's really about you give first, you provide your expertise, and through that, through the back door, you generate your leads because people realize you're good. So it's about also not just quantity as it's happening somewhere else, but really about the quality type of a network as well. And this is something that we try to achieve here. But again, LinkedIn itself is a great tool. We will not replace LinkedIn. It still has its validation out there in the market, but our focus group is a bit different as well in our approach to that as well.
Sure. Anyone else have any question about DoDash? We can take one more maybe if you want to. All good. Okay, so next we can do a introduction of, thank you, Marcus.
Thank you everyone for your good questions.
Introduction for Gaurav Agarwal about Co-Founders Planet. Please, Gaurav, do you just...
Yeah.
So this is also very related to first 5 moves. I think one of them finding co-founder, right? Yeah, please, Gaurav.
Yes. So talking about myself, I am from a finance background. So I'm a chartered accountant and Zaverian, and currently a part of IIM Kashipur cohort for one of our startups, that is Co-Founders Planet. Talking about Co-Founders Planet, the pain point that we are trying to solve is we want to make startups meet the right kind of co-founders and also the right kind of advisors. So the platform itself enables the startup owners to meet each other, to meet more stakeholders in the ecosystem. And essentially this platform will, have these kind of advisors wherein you can just click, book an appointment with them and can meet them. Ideally, you can actually find a perfect match who can work with you and actually take this journey of entrepreneurship wonderfully with you. That is what the aim of Co-Founders Planet is all about. And happy to help any of the startups who are looking for co-founders through Co-Founders Planet here too.
Sure. So talking about our topic today, the first 5 moves of a founder. So let's hear from everyone one by one. where does this co-founder matchmaking or finding a co-founder stand? Should it be first move, second move? Let's hear from Akarshan. What's your take, Akarshan? Yeah, finding this co-founder, where out of that 5 thing, or maybe you can say from your thought, what is the first 5 thing to do from your side?
Regarding if I say like finding a right co-founder, it's the 5 things which I would say regarding finding the right co-founder is first, there should be you should understand that what the other person is bringing on the table, right? If you are coming from a technology background and your co-founder is again a technology person, probably I don't think so that would make any kind of sense, because you are already an expert. You would be okay, your technology domain would be added an advantage, but maybe your marketing, your business development, that would again, you would find team to build it. And again, the co-founders are technically very strong, but not technically strong in terms of digital marketing, business development, finance. So first point is that you should definitely see what the other person is bringing on table for you, like in terms of skills, not in terms of monetary stakes. A lot of people nowadays, I have seen particularly a lot of startups who have actually given a lot of stakes to the people, so that they can just come in and help them in terms of mentorship, guidance, maybe investments, even the investors. This is for all the startups who are right now over here. I have particularly been on a lot of judging panel in terms of people going for the investments, or going for the different kind of competitions. And what the so I'm sorry to say, but this is a stupid thing. What the entrepreneurs do is, I also learned it hard way, that we give the money to those investors who are giving us more money. You should really check that we should give our stakes, because our stakes is very important. You don't understand why investors are going to invest in us, because they see that this product is going to become it will be disrupting the market, right? This startup can be a unicorn, right? This can be you as a founder can be a multi-billionaire. So you should really see, as an investor or as a co-founder, who are you bringing and how he can help you with the skills specifically, and how he can help you to grow. So this is one very important aspect which I particularly feel that the co-founder should look for when you are going for a co-founder. Second, whenever you are bringing a co-founder, I can totally understand, and it's a very tough job to find the right co-founder. So please check how much enthusiasm he or she has. Enthusiasm means for the startup, like you can actually make an agreement with him or her that, okay, for 6 months, I'll pay you irrespective. I'll take a loan. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll take loans from the people. I'll probably invest and I'll give you, 70,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, whatever your salary is, I'll pay you. Okay. And after 6 months, I'll give you your stakes as a co-founder, right? So you should actually analyze the person who is going to bring you on, who is, whether, again, it's about bringing the value, but yes, the second thing is probably, I would say, whether he's the right person or right enthusiastic person to be on the team or not. Because a startup, every founder, every co-founder, even in the top management team, whether there is a vice president or a director, they should be very enthusiastic towards, we all are enthusiastic. That's why the 12 participants sitting at 11 o'clock, we are having discussions. So we are enthusiastic towards entrepreneurship domain. So this is how, you should see whether your co-founder is enthusiastic or not. The third, probably, I would say that how well he can manage time. The product should be at the right time into the market. So right product at the right time at the right value is what we have learned, right? So he or she should understand that the right, what is the right time to launch the product. Before YouTube, before Facebook came, there were many other social media or many other streaming startups were there. Many other streaming companies were there. But YouTube and Facebook disrupted because they were at the right time, at the right place. So again, you should understand that how your co-founder is helping you to, deliver your product or your service at the right time, at the right place. The fourth, probably, I would say that yes, you should definitely see the major important thing is that financially how he can help you. because this will be my fourth priority. But yes, it's a priority after all, that financially, whether he is stable or not, he shouldn't be a liability for you. So you should definitely see, on the financial side of the things, that how much money, monetary value he is, bringing in. And the fifth one is, again, it's not that crucial, but yes, you need to understand that the fifth pointer is again somewhat I would say, as a co-founder connect, that the mindset should be connecting, right? How we say that in a couple, it doesn't matter that, I am black or my wife is, white, or, it doesn't matter that my wife is shorter in height and I am taller. It doesn't matter. But if my mentality, if my mindset is connected with my partner, I'll probably do a lot of good things. So that's how you should see the co-founder connect should be there. It's always like, if you can't connect with your co-founder, and particularly it's a request to all the startups who are right now listening, that please just hear this. This is very important. Please don't think that your best friend can be your best co-founder. Your best co-founder can be your best friend, but your best friend cannot be a good co-founder or best co-founder. So please remember this. So this is very, very important, that you need to understand that, your co-founder should have a good mindset connect, that, okay, I want to shut down the company. So your co-founder should be there. No, let's stand up. Or yes, we will. So your co-founder should respect your decision, because if you want respect, there would be a rift. And so many startups in India itself, I'm talking about, and globally as well, we have seen so many startups going from, they were at this stage and they just went down like this, just because of the rift between the co-founders. So yeah, probably my 5 pointers are these things.
Sure.
I would like to say.
Let's hear from Prakash here. What do you think co-founder should do? I mean, what qualities, according to you, should
Okay, I
a
don't
co-founder
have
have?
five. I don't have five.
No. Five, actually,
I have three.
Karshan
I have three.
misunderstood the question. It
No,
was
that's okay.
one
That's
of the
okay.
move, but not 5 points.
Yeah. So
I'm
I
sorry.
think these three are very crucial. And after that, the other two or maybe three or four could be more localized or more specific to the startup that they are working. It could differ from startup to startup. So the first three, these that I believe is, the first one is the value offering. The startup that you're working, what is it that's value? There are a lot of Me Too's now. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of copycats. You start up one. Look at what the ID. That is the idli dosa thing which startup. Today there are, when I go to any supermarket in my city of Bangalore, there are 5 brands that is there offering the same idli dosa, same parota and all that. But then the first one that started, the ID, still stand tall in spite of all the Me Too's that have come. The competition has been coming. There are new entrants coming in. But what value he has created, okay, not just with the fact that he was the first one, but the quality, the consistency in the quality, and in the mindset that the product was able to catch and create in the customer's mind. That's what matters. So value offering is very, very important. You have a product or you have a service. What is it that you're valuing? What is it that makes the customer come to you? That's what is important. The first thing is that. Okay. The second thing is that your founder should be this believer in the same dream that you are doing. Okay. If the founder believes in the same dream that you have, the journey becomes much easier. Okay. There are a lot of founders who come in, they say, I'll become your co-founder. Maybe 1 year, 2 years, they want to encash out. Okay. They are not the real one. They may help you at the time when you need the money the most, but they encash you when you need them the most. That's also the reason. But then if you have a co-founder who is also the same believer in your dream, okay, then you will go a long way and you will create much better and stronger organization that you have. So the believer in your dream, as Akarshan also said, if you have like-minded person, like-minded co-founder, it becomes the business remain no longer a challenge, okay, for you, because you have taken care of that co-founder part. The third one is that besides the founder, you need to also have a team which understand the purpose for which you started the business. You need to create a team. It's difficult. It's much easier to speak on that than actually implement it. But then somewhere you have to take the hard step. You have to take the difficult task to go in and identify the people, who understand the purpose for which the startup has been created. And that's what is going to stay with you for a long time. And you all will grow. You all must have heard the story of how the receptionist in Jack Ma's organization was there with him. And he told her, wait for me when I take Alibaba with IPO. And she waited for so many years. She waited. Today she is a billionaire and she heads the operation part, and she was a receptionist with Jack Ma. That is the kind of people that we need. I know it's difficult to find out those kind of people, but then, as a founder, as a startup founder, initiator, you should never stop searching for those kind of people. And the more you have these kind of people, the much stronger organization that you'll build. These are the first three things that in balance 4, 5, 6, 7, you can have any number. Those are more business specific challenges than anything. Yes, Marcus, you want to add something?
Absolutely. I mean,
Marcus, please. Then Atul, sir.
All of the points that you both mentioned were absolutely right. I mean, the complementary of skills is so important that you really know, like that your co-founding team at least can cover the most important areas of a business. I mean, the alignment along a vision, the intrinsic motivation that will derive out of that, the will to really take it even at night and all that is definitely another thing. One thing I have realized oftentimes is, so from an investor's perspective, the ideal team number is in between 2 and usually 4 people, at very, very, very max 5 people, but usually you shouldn't exceed that. And one good advice I can give you, especially if you feel, hey, you will be always the most attached. If you start a business, you're the most attached to your business. So everybody else that comes in at a later point, you want to make sure that also the sustainability of your startup is secured. So one thing that I would recommend you to do is, independent from how you set it up, is that you go with a vesting period and a trial period as well. So what you could do is you can give the new potential co-founders like a 30, a 60, and 90-day challenge, like stuff that they can specifically work on. You can evaluate their skills, you can see how they deal, how you engage with them. And then at this point in time, you could say, hey, this will already be the very 3 months of your vesting period. So vesting period means you say over the next 4 years, you can earn all the shares virtually. Then at the end of the 4 years, you'll be paid out, excluding if you have like a financial thing coming in between, a funding round. And that way you could build in a cliff where you say within the first year, if you drop out, you're losing everything. But that way you can secure the future of your business, especially if you're not sure if that person is the right fit, but you can test it out. And if that person says after 2 years, I'm out, then they only get their small portion, but you can find somebody else for that, because you don't want to have somebody going out with 10% and he's not doing anything. That will make it so difficult for investors to really invest in you. And
this is like living in before the getting married.
Yeah.
You explore your partner.
Contract.
It's called engaging
living
first.
Contractual living in.
Yeah.
More complex.
Of contractual, because there's always, packing up your bag and walking out of the living in relationship.
Yeah, it's like that. It is like that. Yeah.
True.
Atul sir, you have comment, please.
Yeah, so I had a slightly difference of opinion on the type of co-founders, in the sense that just like a marriage example, or even friends example, if you can't really have very strong disagreements and fights and still stay together, the co-founders need to have a different personality, different backgrounds, and they don't have to agree. They don't have to be like-minded. They can share the values and the big vision of how they want to change the world, but people with slightly differences of opinions, personalities, I feel they are better rather than having the same like-mind, same. You don't want to have 4 apples. You rather have an apple and an orange and all these things for a very good juice mix. That's my. Also, any opinion on that?
No, sir, I completely agree that there should be a mix of all, and I definitely agree. Regarding Atul sir, your thought. It's just like the like-minded in terms of I would say as I was saying, that the technical, the finance, the marketers, skill-wise it should be different, but yes, the vision-wise it should be the same. So this is just my personal review, that vision. So the co-founder should be visionary enough to click on the mindset with the other co-founder. The vision should be the same. The skill set should be different. That's for sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear from Neeraj, what do you think? I mean, you also started something with a co-founder, kind of.
Yeah, Vishal, sorry, there is little background noise. My
Yeah, no
son
problem.
is playing. Son is playing in my room.
Video game.
Okay, okay. So going back to the question that first five things. So I am having a slight
So
different
just
view.
co-founder part for now. So just take it as one of the thing. What do you think
Okay.
you will be looking in a co-founder? Let's say when you are implementing your idea, or I mean, how do you? What difficulties will you find according to you?
Uh, Definitely, when we are looking for a co-founder, my first choice will be looking for diversity. Diversity in terms of knowledge, diversity in terms of experience, and if you can have some gender diversity as well, so then definitely that can add a greater value to your team.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have one more person. Gaurav, yes, please.
Uh, I would love to have a failed entrepreneur in my team.
Mhm.
So
So who
Best
doesn't?
answer.
Who
when
doesn't
I
agree
Best
to this?
answer.
Anybody
I
doesn't
love
agree?
it.
So one of the
so
comments, Vishal, I would like to add that. So one person in my network, I forgot some junior or Azik, Ketul said, why does your profile somewhere mention somewhere serial failed entrepreneur? And to him, my comment was that I'm in Silicon Valley, and here failure is a badge of honor, not a negative mark. So people, because they you learn more from your failures than your success, because after success some arrogance comes in, and you're succeeding in one thing doesn't mean you'll succeed everything else. But once you've failed, and you failed many times, then you know what doesn't work, be it a team building, be it technology and partnership, all of that. So that's just a personal opinion.
Sure.
and to add to that failed entrepreneur thing, I also think humor is very important, to be very honest. So what happens is this journey of entrepreneurship is not an easy one. Too much hurdles, too much knockdown happens in the entire journey. So say for example, when I talk about co-founders planet journey, so my co-founder is say Vishal here. So whenever we talk about some points, he gives a filmy example. So that actually kicks in the entire thing and lightens the whole mood. So to be very honest, that is something which is something which I actually desire for, is a humor element. So if that humor element is there, इतनी tension होती है life में, so much of pain going on, you are working on an idea, whether the thing will be funded or not. If that dash of humor is added, no, so nothing like that. So that
So
is what
Gaurav, you
my
are saying that Vishal is going to be the co-founder for your startup.
No, I'm
Oh my
already.
God. I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't aware.
So he's
So I just again
quoting
want to add
examples.
another point on Gaurav. Uh, Humor is important, and it's very easy to have a joke on the environment and the politics and others. But being able to laugh at yourself, that's another skill one need to have. The very fact that you can make fun of yourself for your own failures or weaknesses, that's another skill
hands
which I
down,
find very valuable.
agreed. In fact, I was talking to my friend in the afternoon. So he gave me a call. I can actually recall one incident which I would like to share with all of you. So I talking about myself, I had been a consistent school and college topper, you know so throughout everywhere I was the star kid. But I flunked during my CA final. So during this attempt only, when I flunked during my CA final, today this fellow called me up, my friend from Bangalore. He told me, Gaurav, yeah, do you know the CFO of CFO India of company X? I told him, हाँ यार, अपना ही तो दोस्त है ना, वो वहां पे बैठा हुआ है. So he told me, Are, when did he clear the examination? So I told him, boss, I think when I flunked, no, that is the time when he cleared the examination. जब मैं फेल हुआ था तब वो शायद पास हो गया था उसी रूटीन में. So it is, as Atul sir rightly pointed out, it is very very critical and important कि आप अपने failures और अपने shortcomings को पहले तो realize करो, और realize करने के बाद खुद उसको accept करो, और accept करने के बाद उसको जाहिर करो, उसको सबको बता दो कि हाँ यार, this is the problem and I am cool with it. I mean, that is how I have started looking at life now. I mean, if failure happened, that's completely okay, but how you bounce back, that is more important.
Sure. Narendra, are you still here? So Narendra, what's your take on this co-founder? Or Prakash, sir, you wanted to add something? Please.
No, see,
No?
it's I just finished adding about my co-founders and other things.
Mhm.
So I think the dreamers are there who are achievers, and I also agree with Gaurav to some extent, saying that yeah, you need to also have some failures. You need to also accept your, when we do this SWOT, it has moved from SWOT to SWOT. So we need to also have that C part, challenges that we have, and identify and gracefully accept that. Either work on that, and then you say that that's what I am, that's how I am, me, and then laugh at yourself and you enjoy it. That's how it is, and they keep the whole thing, keep your chin up and keep going.
Sure. Narendra, what do you think about co-founders qualities that you will be looking? अच्छा प्रकाश सर, आपको हिंदी समझ में आती है ना? Just double checking.
आई एम ए दिल्ली ग्रेजुएट सर.
ओके ओके, ठीक है. नहीं मतलब एक्चुअली पिछले बार तो पूरा इंग्लिश किया था ना, अभी हिंदी कर लेते हैं 10 मिनट के लिए.
बिल्कुल. एनीथिंग अबाउट फ्रॉम द नॉर्थ इंडिया आई एम कंफर्टेबल.
Okay.
In fact, don't ask me to speak in Kannada. I am very bad. Although I am living in Bangalore for the last so many
I
years.
was just double checking कि
My
ऐसा
wife
ना हो जाए
throws
कि
me out
हिंदी
of the
हम लोग
house.
बोले.
She asks me to get out of the house when I speak Kannada. Even though I've been living here for the last 20 years. I've still not learned it because वो दिल्ली का एक बार अंदर चला जाता है ब्लड में, फिर कुछ और एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता है वो.
डीएनए बदल देता है.
बस डीएनए बदल देता है.
Sure. नरेंद्र, हाँ, तुम्हारा क्या ख्याल है, ये को फाउंडर कैसा होना चाहिए? शादी से कॉम्प्लेक्स है या शादी से आसान है को फाउंडर ढूंढना?
सर देखने से अगर देखा जाए तो इतना कोई आसान नहीं है. मतलब थोड़ा सा बहुत चैलेंजेस, बहुत टफ सिचुएशन है. मतलब टफ चीज़ है. बहुत काम करना पड़ेगा. बहुत ठीक है, आइडिया इज गुड है, बट अभी भी बहुत वर्क करना पड़ेगा. जैसे हम लोग अभी काम कर रहे हैं, वैसे इनको भी बहुत अपने आइडिया के ऊपर में, अपने स्टार्टअप के ऊपर में बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा.
Sure. ठीक है, तो एक मूव के बारे में हमने बात की. एनीवन वांट्स टू ऐड एनीथिंग ऑन दिस को-फाउंडर पार्ट? या चलो थोड़ा सा ह्यूमरस डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं. प्रकाश सर, आप बताइए, शादी से आसान है को-फाउंडर ढूंढना या शादी से डिफिकल्ट है? मतलब क्या ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट है, कौन सा रिश्ता निभाना आपके हिसाब से?
सर दोनों ही जरूरी है. दोनों में अपना सफरिंग है.
हार्ड कौन सा है?
Yeah, it depends on your partner in both the ways. Sometimes if co-founder becomes so tough that you will find it difficult to run the business. Sometimes the spouse is so tough that you find it, यार घर में 16 घंटे के बजाय स्टार्टअप में 16 घंटे बिताता हूँ, घर पे आके सो जाता हूँ. That's much peaceful. Sometimes your atmosphere at home is so easy, so comfortable that you want to spend less time in your startup and more time in your house. So it's a balance that ultimately you have to live. You can't get away with either of them. If you are into startup environment, you got to have your family balance also, family life also, and also have a startup. So both are a kind of marriage. Especially with co-founder, it's you need to have a good founder, good co-founder, as well as an understanding spouse. Both are essential.
दोनों खराब हो गए तो फिर किसी तीसरा जगह जाना पड़ेगा. ना घर पे रह पाएंगे ना ऑफिस में.
फिर तो रिया चक्रवर्ती को फोन करके वो ले लो, पुड़िया मंगा लो.
आकर्षण, व्हाट्स योर?
सर वैसे तो प्रकाश सर बहुत स्मार्ट लिख रहे हैं. उन्होंने बहुत डिप्लोमेटिकली बहुत करेक्ट आंसर दिए.
नहीं, इम्पोर्टेंट है. You ask me the same question tomorrow, I'll have a different answer. Why? Because Vishal, I don't know why. I don't know whether Vishal has got another camera installed in my house. He asked me the question at the right time when my wife was just passing next to me. I was in a strategically cornered place to give a reply which could balance off my life both in this meeting as well as in my. अरे कल सुबह नाश्ता भी तो खाना है यार.
सर प्रकाश सर, आप कल भी गलत आंसर नहीं दे सकते. ये हो रहा है यूट्यूब पे रिकॉर्ड, तो गलती से आपकी वाइफ ने देख लिया ना, फिर कल नाश्ता नहीं मिलेगा आपको.
ये वो सब नहीं है यार. बददुआ मत दे यार आकर्षण, पहले मीटिंग में यार. अभी तो आधा घंटा पहले कुछ हेल्प करने की बात कर रहा था।
ठीक है ना, आकर्षण का बारी है, लेट्स सी व्हाट ही सेज।
बोल दे बेटा, शादी हुई है नहीं हुई ना? हो गई ना?
नहीं सर, मेरा बहुत सिंपल मानना है कि वही है, जैसे प्रकाश सर ने बोला कि बोथ द थिंग्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट, योर पार्टनर एज वेल एज योर स्टार्टअप। कभी स्टार्टअप को 16 घंटे देना पड़ेगा, कभी पार्टनर को 16 घंटे देना पड़ेगा। मतलब वो कहते हैं ना कि कहीं ना कहीं आदमी पिसता ही है। यहाँ पे भी आदमी पिस ही रहा है। सो अब वो बस इट्स जस्ट अबाउट बैलेंसिंग द लाइफ। क्या बोलते हैं कि मतलब स्टार्टअप भी बैलेंस कर लो और अपने पार्टनर को भी बैलेंस कर लो, वरना आप मतलब हम ऐसा इम्बैलेंस होंगे
आप डिसबैलेंस हो
पिसते ही
जाएंगे।
रहेंगे।
See, I switched off my camera also. Why? Because she was passing here and there. Now she's gone, so I switched on the camera.
नहीं
तो
सर,
एक कहावत है ना, आप इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो।
बिल्कुल,
अतुल सर
छुपा ही
प्लीज।
रहा था कुछ
नहीं तो मेरा इसी टॉपिक पे ही है, और अभी प्रकाश सर की वाइफ भी नहीं है और बाकी लोग भी अभी अच्छे पोजीशन में हैं। तो को फाउंडर नहीं होता है ज़्यादातर केसेस में, कभी कभी को फाउंडर्स होते हैं। तो मैरिज और स्टार्टअप में डिफरेंस यही है कि मैरिज में तो आपको एक स्पाउस को खुश रखना है, सेटिस्फाई रखना है, और स्टार्टअप में कभी कभी तीन को फाउंडर
अलाउड है स्टार्टअप में।
4 को फाउंडर है।
एक स्टार्टअप तो हम स्टार्ट ही कर लेते हैं, आइदर वी आर वर्किंग और वट एवर वी आर डूइंग। एक स्टार्टअप तो स्टार्ट हो ही जाता है जिस दिन हम लोग वो 7 फेरे लेते हैं, वो तो स्टार्टअप हो ही जाता है, उसका फाउंडर तो मिल जाता है। दूसरा
वो एक
स्टार्टअप
स्टार्टअप ही है
ना, दूसरा स्टार्टअप में कूदना है नहीं कूदना, ये आप चॉइस करते हैं।
नहीं,
एक विदाउट चॉइस आता है, एक चॉइस के साथ आता है।
नहीं प्रकाश जी, मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि दूसरा जो आप स्टार्टअप कर रहे हैं ना, तो स्टार्टअप में आपके पास ये ऑप्शन होता है कि आप एक पत्नी की जगह पे आप पूरे फैमिली लेके आ रहे हैं, कि कोई सीएफओ है, कोई सीआईओ है, कोई सीटीओ है, अलग अलग बैकग्राउंड के, और कभी कभी सबके अलग अलग ईगोज, अलग अलग पर्सनैलिटीज, अलग अलग ये होते हैं। तो वो एक वाइफ के साथ सोचिए कि कितना चैलेंजिंग, नहीं बोला एक्साइटिंग होता है, बट जब 4-5 पार्टनर्स हो और सब बहुत स्ट्रांग हो, तो कभी कभी बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग हो सकता है।
इसलिए
सर आपने भी ना बहुत अच्छे से वर्ड्स के साथ खेल लिया।
हाँ, इसलिए अतुल सर,
चैलेंजिंग और एक्साइटिंग।
अतुल सर, इसलिए मैंने एक स्टार्टअप लिया था करीब 20 साल पहले, अभी दूसरा स्टार्टअप नहीं स्टार्ट करूंगा, दूसरों को स्टार्टअप पे एडवाइस ही दे रहा हूँ।
वो बेस्ट है,
वो बेस्ट है। हम लोग स्टार्टअप में नहीं जाएंगे, हम दूसरों को एडवाइस देंगे।
मेरा इसमें एक सॉल्यूशन है, सिंपल सा। आप अपने जो स्टार्टअप कर रहे हो ना, उसमें अपने बेटर हाफ को को फाउंडर बना लो।
भाई मैं नहीं, आई डोंट एग्री, आई डोंट एग्री।
सर 16 घंटे फिर एक ही जगह लॉक हो गए आपके, फिर 16 घंटे में बैलेंस नहीं है आपका।
आई डोंट,
उससे एक बेनिफिट है। अच्छा आप लफड़ा पहले बता दो, फिर मैं बेनिफिट बता दूंगा।
मैं लफड़ा बता रहा हूँ। आप अपने स्पाउस को को फाउंडर बनाया, तो शादी में बहुत सारे आपके रीजन हो सकते हैं झगड़े को, कि ये सिनेमा देखना है या ये खाना खाना है, यहाँ वेकेशन जाना है। बट आपने को फाउंडर अपने स्पाउस को बना लिया, तो फिर तो आपके बैलेंस शीट को लेकर झगड़ा होगा कि या हायरिंग को लेकर, इसको क्यों हायर करना, उसको क्यों करना, हर छोटी, तो आप तो मतलब कि 24 आवर आप काम
बैलेंसिंग ही करते रहोगे
और हर दिन आप डाइवोर्स के पोजीशन पे रहोगे। तो मेरे ख्याल से अपनी वाइफ को को फाउंडर नहीं बनाना चाहिए।
Your next meal will be always in questionable state.
तो क्वेश्चन उसका एक और है, वाइफ को फाउंडर को वाइफ बनाना चाहिए।
नहीं, मैं बेनिफिट का जिक्र करता हूँ।
को फाउंडर से शादी कर ले तो ठीक है,
पहला
Yes, we have a lady also. I think there is a lady here, Ashna. I think we have not heard her from a long while.
It's actually no, she's our own LWT.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought she's also one of the members, and we have not heard her for a while.
Yeah.
So I
Gaurav, yes.
I tell you, I was talking about the benefits. So what essentially happens is when you are switching on and moving on to your second startup, then it is much advisable कि first startup आप उनके हाथ में दे दो, ताकि जो पेन पॉइंट से आप गुजरे हो ना, उन्हें पता लग जाए और आपकी रिस्पेक्ट ऑटोमेटिकली डबल हो जाए। तो वो वाला पॉइंट क्या रहेगा, मैंने तो इनफैक्ट वही है, SMBA कंसल्टेंट्स जो है, मोर और लेस my better half is actually one of the persons who is spearheading the SMBA consultants, wherein I have put it in auto mode. So I know somebody who can manage me can definitely manage the entire business as well. So that is how I look at it.
Sure.
So on those lines, Gaurav, I would say you are the 1% luckiest person in this entire planet. But yeah, definitely, Gaurav, I completely agree. इसके वही है, again, हर चीज के दो पहलू होते हैं. So यहाँ पे भी yes, definitely, if there is a partner with whom आपका वही again mindset वाली बात है. Mindset अगर आपका love life में connect हो गया है, तो obviously आपका startup में भी कहीं ना कहीं connect हो जाएगा. And she will also be a good. So frankly, I am not married, but recently my parents have started to look for a companion for me, and like she was asking what kind of companion do you want, and I was like, very frankly, I said, मेरे को एक ऐसी कंपेनियन चाहिए, कल को मैं अगर 4 लाख की जॉब कमा रहा हूँ, मैं 4 लाख रुपए महीने कमा रहा हूँ जॉब में, और मेरे को एकदम से मेरे को कीड़ा मचा, मेरे को जॉब छोड़नी है, तो वो बस मेरे को मेरे साथ अप्रिशिएट करे, मेरा रिस्पेक्ट करे डिसीजन का, दैट्स इट. I don't want anything else, and she should be the one who should motivate me that okay, I will also help you in this way. So that's the whole point. Like particularly, I'll say कि yeah, मतलब mindset वही है, mindset connect होने वाली बात है. अब उसमें mindset के साथ heart भी connect हो गया, तो सोने पे सुहागे वाली बात है. That's all I would say.
इसी पे एक कमेंट करना चाहता हूँ कि नॉर्मली जो फीमेल ऑफ द स्पीसीज जो स्पाउस मतलब कि अगर है, तो थोड़ा सा रिस्क और फाइनेंस को मामले में लेकर थोड़ा ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं या स्ट्रांग होती हैं, कंजर्वेटिव होती हैं, क्योंकि उनको बहुत बार वाइफ को खर्चा पानी ज्यादा, मतलब इंडियन फैमिली में स्पेशली खर्चा पानी उनको देखना पड़ता है, तो फाइनेंशियली थोड़ी ज्यादा कंजर्वेटिव होती है और रिस्क को भी थोड़ी रिस्क अवर्स होती हैं. तो कभी कभी को फाउंडर अपने स्पाउस को बनाने का एक फायदा ये भी होता है कि सीएफओ आप हो या चीफ रिस्क ऑफिसर आप हो, बाकी सारा काम सेल्स का काम आप करो, जो भी करो, लेकिन ये जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, जो बहुत बार गलतियां कर देते हैं हम लोग, बहुत ही रेकलेस रिस्क ले लेते हैं. तो अगर स्पाउस आपके या गर्लफ्रेंड आपकी को फाउंडर है, तो उन सारे आपको गड्ढों में गिरने से बचा सकती है. ये मेरा एक अपसाइड ऑफ मैरिंग योर को फाउंडर.
Definitely, sir. I agree to it.
Sure. So okay, we are out of time. मैं एक लास्ट स्टेटमेंट से क्लोज कर देता हूँ. बायजूस में जो फाउंडर्स हैं ना, दे आर कपल बाय द वे, ठीक है. तो but I don't know exactly.
Chumbak also. Chumbak also.
Chumbak also. Yeah. I mean, there might be a lot to be. So I'm just quoting a good one. ठीक है. But I think ये है ना सब्जेक्टिव है बहुत, and बहुत लोग क्या करेंगे क्या नहीं करेंगे, it's a different story. Okay, so I think we discussed about one of the moves, finding this co-founder. We have to also discuss other 4 moves and possibly more and more. That we'll continue this next Friday. Okay, so apart from co-founder, what is the other, let's say, 4 moves left? Okay, so we'll probably have, I don't know, 4 to 5 sessions on this first 5 moves. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. So hopefully we'll meet each other again next Friday on this Startup Night Out. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.